Well, good morning out there, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Greg. This is Greg's Mowers and More. And today, sorry about that, we got an old aluminum deck Jacobsen here. I drove a little ways to get this mower. I remember when I was a kid growing up, my grandfather had a Jacobsen lawn tractor. And I mean, it wasn't much. The stator was out on it, so he built a little wood rack off the back so he could put a car battery on there to get some extended range out of it. But anyways, you don't see very many things like this anymore, at least not Jacobsen's. And she's a little bitty tiny aluminum deck. She's got the old diehard 3 or 3.5 horse brakes on it. I don't know yet. I haven't decoded the serial number. But anyway, solid wheels, very lightweight, very easy to push. Diesel mowers like this, boy, they were the diehards of their time. These things couldn't hardly be killed unless you ran them out of oil, left them outside for a long period of time, or just plain didn't care and didn't take care of them and beat them to death. But anyways, I think I gave $10 for this thing. Today we're gonna see if we can't get her to pop off and run and come back to life. If we can get that far, maybe we'll what was I gonna say? Maybe we'll cut some grass with it. That's what I was gonna say. Sorry, I'm not awake yet. So, a lot of things been going on around here. I've been super busy with customer work and stuff. Between there and my night job, I've been going anywhere from 12 to probably 16 hours a day. But anyway, you guys really don't care about that, so let me go ahead and snag you off the tripod over here, and we'll give you guys a nice flyover of this thing. Anyway, we got Jacobsen in big letters across the front. Got our old Briggs here. Just look at how solid this old deck is. I mean, the aluminum ones, yeah, they don't rust or rot, but still they corrode, and this one's pretty darn nice. Got some sweet bird turd and possibly some raccoon turd action right there. Pretty sweet.
Hey, I think you're pretty neat, but I respect your distance. There's bears out here, there's mountain cougars, and biting goats. How neat is that? That's pretty neat.
So, and this here, let me see here. Let me get you guys back here, walking around. Check this out. One of those early washout tabs. You're not going to fit a garden hose on that one, but that's cool. So, Jacobsen Manufacturing Model 32171. Not sure what year that makes it, but I don't know. Late 70s, early 80s maybe. I could be wrong. Metal side chute. A little wobble in the wheels, but that's all right. She earned it. Got some debris. All right, let me see here. Vintage throttle. Stainless handle. Let me get over here so maybe we can see what the year of this thing is. Sorry about finger in the way, guys. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. The screen on my phone's all messed up. I dropped it in the rocks the other day. 1977 by that engine there. So I'm gonna guess she's a 77 Jacobsen. Let me get you guys thrown back in the tripod and we'll start digging in. As per usual, we're gonna start by checking the oil in this thing. Just gonna plug right here. Pop that thing out and have a look in there. And there's nothing in it. Not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. So, let's give it some. Let's give her some Shell Rotella SAE 30. Seem to like that. In the older mowers, I tend to run a straight 30 weight. That's what they used to put in them. In the newer mowers, you can get away with 1030. So, trying not to spill everywhere here. Yeah, hopefully somebody didn't run her out of oil and rod knock her. Lower crankshaft seal, I guess, could be out of it too from sitting so long. But we're going to find out today. We're gonna learn. We'll learn about this whole girl and what makes her tick. I guarantee you that. These old vertical shaft engines, they don't hold much oil. They don't hold much at all. Just a little splash more and I think we got it. There we go. That's good. This one got an oil change before we even heard it run. That's a rarity on the channel. Very rare. Now, the next couple of things we're going to do is we're going to pull that air cleaner housing off because I am sure this thing is probably brittle as all get out. Then we need to pop that spark plug out. Yeah, I bought this mower in a 3-mower deal. All of them are older, from the 80s and the 70s. And they had set outside or in a garage for, oh boy, for Lord knows how long. Well, the bottom of it's still pliable. The top of it, I mean. Yeah, that one's, oh, nope, there it is. See it? Yep, flicking apart. Junk. What's the fuel tank look like? That's another thing. She's got some varnish and some floaties in there. Not good. Let's get the plug out of it. Turn it so you can see that. Plug. Got an old champion in her. Sure, back in the day, this mower was a champion. Might still be again. We'll have to see. Survey says oil burner. Definitely an oil burner. Somebody probably didn't keep the oil changed in it and just ran the dog snot out of it. Alright, you can stay there. We'll be in the bird turd. You can come with me. So can you. Being as this thing's a 77, I'll about guarantee you it brings that spark once it's been converted to magnetron as much as possible. I'm gonna go ahead and take my free all here, shoot some down this recoil rope. She's probably gonna need it. Shoot some over here where the gear's gonna mesh. And give some in the cylinder, even though it looks like it's lubed up for the rest of all time. Want to give her the best chance there. Okay. Let's see if she pulls over. It does. Recoil rope, no bueno. We're gonna have to work on that before we can even get started. Oh, Lord Jesus, help me today, please. All right, what do we got here? Looks like 2 7/16. All right, looks like the fuel tank bolt, the bolt that holds the cover on the recoil are the same. That one's a half. That one's a 7/16, so. All right, the other half. Must have left them somewhere. This little edge here makes a great tool tray, just so you know. Might even have to take the engine cover off to get her out of there. I don't know. maybe not. There we go. And then that comes off. Now we can really get in there and leave this thing up. Get the gear teeth and everything. Oh yeah, she's starting to free up now. Skipping every once in a while. I'm gonna try to hold that. Hang on. Try to get you guys a view of that. When you pull on it, the gear comes up. So if I hold her like that, I can get in here, get that shaft, get down in there. I just want to lube her all. I want to get it all nice and lubricated. And just keep working it. Bring her back to life again. Alrighty. I think we got her. Slap her back on there so we can continue going forward. Now most guys would probably use common sense right now and say, well, you know, you can just pop that top off and pop the flywheel off and everything and do what you need to do. And yeah, I could. Not gonna though. Not gonna. I'm gonna do it the hard way. Because I always like to give these old machines the benefit of the doubt. Now, somebody might have been here before me and thrown a magnetron in this thing in the 70s, 80s, 90s. Who knows? But it could have happened. And I'd like to think that it happened. So, until I know otherwise, I'm not tearing that shroud off. Even though it would probably be a good idea with how much debris is on top of this thing. Okay. Now we're back where we started from about 5 minutes ago. So let's pull it over and get some of that stuff out of the cylinder. Boy, these old recoils are starting to come back to me now. I for sure remember them. I haven't used one of these recoils like this in a while. What's that expression they use, knee high to a grasshopper? I think that's the expression they use, maybe. I'm gonna grab a better plug. This one here is just not looking good at all. I think I had a couple over here on the bench. Yeah, this one looks good. Alright. Now since we're right here, we'll just hold her over here on these pins and give her a yank. See if we got any sparkles. Oh, we do. I'll be dipped. I saw a sparkle anyway. I saw one. That's all I got. Yeah, that's all we got was one. So now we're gonna pull the cover off. You know, like most guys would have done 10 minutes ago. If nothing else, I am hard-headed. I am. I'll admit it. I'm hard-headed and stubborn. My wife knows all about that. She puts up with me every day. I don't know how. The woman is an angel, I promise you. And now I gotta take the recoil back off again. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not the sharpest tool in the shed.
I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Nor am I awake. Recoil out. Alright, can we sweep the shroud off of here? Probably not without taking the little cable bolts off, huh? Probably 1/4 or 5. Well, how's things going out there for you guys, huh? Are you guys enjoying the videos? Did you guys see the Fraser Graham rototiller video? It kind of went well, but that was about the best point on that. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. While you're there, check out all the rest of them, because I think we got over 100 videos right now. So there's plenty for you to choose from. And I'm making new ones every week, and they come out every Sunday morning, 5 in the morning, for your enjoyment. Whoever put that on there, I don't know. I don't know why they did that. Okay. Oh yeah, shroud's off. We do got some goodies in there too. I'm gonna blow all that off. I need to shove something down in this carburetor though, so it don't go over that. I'll just hold the rag over it. Well, move my bolts so I don't lose them. Boy, I need to wake up. I should have went and got a coffee or something this morning. I'm just so tired. Running on empty, guys. Running on empty. Compressor up. Here we go. No, the fins in the head are plugged. I'm gonna have to fire that thing up. Alright, I thought I'd spare you guys the noise, so I went ahead and blew all the crap off of it. I got the fins all cleaned up. Alright. So, we're gonna keep diving in here. Gotta get this little cover plate off. These are probably 1/4 inch. And they are, but I'm gonna have to go find my 1/4 inch little adapter for the drill, because the 5/16 ones just ain't gonna get her. Okay, I went and got the right bit. I took some digging, but 1, 2, 3/4 inch screws to take off this little, I don't know, it's to stop leaves and debris from getting into your flywheel and blower shroud. Don't know what the technical term is for that. Flop that over, throw those in there. Now we're down to our flywheel nut. I don't know what size that is, but she's a big one. And she's rusty. Aluminum flywheel. Big. That one might get her. Alright. Get out the big old Milwaukee. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Alrighty. Okay, we're gonna have to find a socket that's gonna go over that and not damage the threads. Oh, actually, that one we don't really have to worry about it too much. This one here's got the end on it. You can tell she's been beat on so many times. Somebody was probably having trouble with the points in this thing. Took her off and on. Take that washer off of there too. There we go. Spray some lube on our flywheel key here. Alright. Get that underneath there. Give her a little pop, see what she does. Might have to give her a little heat. Hopefully I don't have to go get my flywheel puller, because I don't know where the heck that thing is and I don't really want to get it. We shall see here in a momento. When you put aluminum on steel, it corrodes together. It's great for saving weight. It's not great for the people that got to work on it. And I don't want to heat the crankshaft up a lot, because then you can damage the seal and it'll start blowing oil out everywhere. I just want to heat the aluminum up enough that it expands it around the crankshaft. Helps to free up some of that corrosion. I think we're probably about there. Let's give her another whack. Aha. Okay, there we go. Flywheel's loose. Key stayed in place. All right. Points cover. Again, 2/4 inch screws. Yeah, you can tell that one's been off before. Otherwise, you would have had to pry on it and everything else. Okay, I'm gonna have to get you guys set up so you can see what's going on. And yeah, got you guys a view up above here so you can kind of get a good idea of what's going on here. In case you're just watching, if you've been watching the channel for a long time, you've already seen me do this about 1,000,001 times, but that's okay. So in here is your breaker points, okay? Top point, bottom points come out on the condenser. All right, you got a spring here, and as your engine rotates around, these points are supposed to open and close, and they are. Hopefully you guys can see that moving, but there we go, open and closing, open and closing. Now, every time those points open, it's gonna discharge through your coil out your plug wire, sending the spark. But what happens is, they sit over time, humidity changes, moisture, stuff like that, and they get super, super corroded like these are here. I'm surprised they sparked at all. Usually they do not do that. So, get on your local Ace Hardware or whatever you got, ask them for an ignition points file. They probably still got one on the shelf that's been there since 1972. However, if you're in the central Illinois area, you're probably out of luck because I probably already bought them all, because I lost one a week forever when I first started this channel. But I got a plethora of them now. So I'm gonna rotate that around to where those are closed. Take my little pick guy here, open that up a little bit, put our points file in there. I'm gonna come back here and try to hold this arm, because if you don't, it's gonna fling this thing off and that spring's gonna go somewhere. And you're gonna be hunting for a spring. And then you just wanna, you gotta clean them up. Because if they can't make contact, you're not gonna get a spark. Now some guys, they say, come in here, you don't even have, they're like, oh, you don't have to sand those, just flick them. Well, that's good for a little while, but you sand them, brings them right back around for even longer. If you replace them, it's better yet. But I don't feel like replacing points today. And I'm just being honest, this old mower's not gonna be worth much money, so I'm trying to be as efficient as I can be on it. Anyway, you guys are probably moving around because I got you on this wobbly old plywood table, so I'm sorry for that. Doing the best I can with what I got. Poor people got poor ways, you know. I'm sure there's some of you out there that have heard that expression 1,000,000 times, and I'm sure there's some of you out there that live by that expression. Oh. All right. Where's my carb cleaner at so I can clean them off? Carb cleaner, brake cleaner, it all works for this. Spray them off. Man, they're still corroded. Still corroded. Tell you what, I'm gonna shut you guys down while I keep sanding away on this, because you've already got the general idea. You don't want to watch me sand on points for a half an hour. All right, so I got them cleaned up enough. I got my big 1970s Thor drill on here because I couldn't find the chuck for it, and I can't get my adapter out to put in the smaller drill. Got my plug sitting up here, so hopefully maybe you guys can see. Let me move you guys a little bit. Maybe you guys will be able to see if we got spark or not. So we're gonna spin this thing over with the drill and see if we got fire. Oh, points came off. That's why. I don't have them right in there. Okay, let me remedy that. Not gonna have good spark if your points aren't right down there in your channel correctly. Dingbat. Don't know how in the world I thought that was ever gonna work, but certainly not the first or last time I'm probably gonna miss something like that. Trying to not launch them everywhere. I have done that. I have slung these things. This dang heavy spring on there, boy, they go flying. Let me get around the other side. All right, come here, you booger. Get in the slot. Come on. Really? You're gonna fight me tooth and nail today, aren't ya? Yeah. Let me get this monstrosity out of my way here. Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. You ever have what should have been like a half-hour job turn into like, I don't know, 5 hours? That's what this mower is going to be. I can already tell it's not going well today. What is the deal here? Oh, come on. I just love it when I get in here and my hands don't work like I think they should. And don't do the things that I'm telling them to do. Oh, okay. Come on. Get in the slot. Hey, look at that. It's almost like you were meant to go there. Okay, there we go. Now, monstrosity back on. Back over there so I can see something again. All right. Let's try this again. What the heck, dude? Still no fire? Huh. Should have had fire by now. I'm gonna have to do some checking on this. I wonder if I got a magnetron coil to swap on there, then I know we'll have fire. Okay, so remember a few minutes ago when I said I wasn't awake? That is most definitely true. Because you're not gonna get spark if the flywheel's not on the engine. So, yeah, I'm an idiot. All right. Oh, that was. I wish I could say that was the dumbest thing I've ever done. I wish I could say that, but I can't. It's not even close. Not even top 5, really. In all honesty. All right. So we probably will have spark. I'm an idiot. So let's go ahead and clean up these flywheel magnets and the posts over here on our foil. And I kind of like to try to use this little wire brush doodad to do that with. Saves me from buying sandpaper all the time. And it does a pretty good job too, if I'm being honest. Okay. Let's go ahead and make sure that this is still magnetic, although we did get a spark out of it, so I'm sure it is. Yep, it is. Alrighty. Okay, where's our flywheel key at? Let's go ahead and plop this guy back on there. Oh, never mind. Points cover first, dingbat. I have got to wake up. I'm gonna have to get some coffee today or something. Got so many things running through my head right now. There's a million other things sitting around here I gotta work on. So I kind of wanted to mess with this thing this morning because I've been sitting here looking at it for weeks now, and I'm like, man, I really want to hear that thing run, get that going. Make a great video for my subscribers out there. You guys have just been eating up the stuff that I already have out there. Thank you for that. I think we're almost at 250 subscribers right now. Honestly, I never even thought we'd get there, to be honest. So I gotta tell you guys, thank you for that. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You guys are a blessing. You definitely are a blessing to me. It means a lot to me that you guys care about old stuff as much as I do. And that you put up with my antics, my rambling, which I'm doing right now. I don't want to tighten that too much. It's aluminum flywheel. Okay. Now that we're at this point, now we should be able to see if we got sparkles. Which I want to make darn sure we do before I throw this thing all the way back together. So I don't want to have to keep doing this. So, let's get that up there. Well, do the thing. All right. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Firing like mad. Nice hot blue spark. Excellent. That's what we wanted. That's what we wanted. So I'm going to shut this down and zing this thing back together. When I get it all the way back together, I'll bring you guys back and we'll move forward some more. All right, so I got the shroud back on. I was getting ready to put the recoil back on. And I'm like, you know what? We're already this far into this thing. We might as well go through the carb too. So we already got that bolt off over there. We got one more bolt right here. Let's lift him out. Then we'll go ahead and pull the carb in the tank off. Let me see if I got something to put this nasty fuel in. Which I do. It's right here. Oh. Actually, I think I want to get that and put that in a bottle so you guys can see it maybe. It's been sitting a long time, I think. Around there. Oh, the smell. Boy, that tank looks really good in there, though. Surprisingly good. Figured she'd be full of rust. This thing must have been stored inside somewhat. At least it's still liquid. I mean, it could be worse. Okay. Let's go ahead and zing through this carb real quick. I need to run inside. And, well, once I get the carb off, I'll run in and grab a diaphragm. So we got a bunch of flathead screws you got to take out. I guarantee you that diaphragm's probably been in there since the 80s or the 90s. It's probably hard as a carp if it doesn't have any holes in it or busted through or whatever. Hopefully I have a diaphragm for this one. Looks a little different than the other ones. Am I missing a screw somewhere? Yes, I am. Okay. Let's say it felt like I was missing a screw. Some might say I have a screw loose. All right. Find somewhere to get under this thing and pry up on it. Boy, it is really on that tank. Golly. Oh, there we go. Jeez, did you hear that? Man, that was crazy. Well, that's shocking. That diaphragm actually kind of feels still pliable. Uh-oh, I'm dropping springs and stuff everywhere. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got one of those though. Let me go see if I got a new diaphragm. Oh boy, I just now saw that. Let's see here. Where are you guys at? Look at the end of that tube. Look at that nastiness. All that varnish built up on there. She wouldn't have ran. All right, let me go find parts. All right, so I went and I found that diaphragm. I got about 15 or 20 of these thanks to my buddy Kevin in Peoria, who gave me all his old small engine parts that he thought he's never going to use, so I'll use them. It is a Stenz, part number 530-030, and that gives you a brand new diaphragm and a brand new diaphragm spring. All right, so let's try to get the old one out of here. I gotta remember how the heck I did this. Spring just comes off, yeah. All right, and then this hooks down in there somehow. I gotta remember how. Actually, you know what? I think there's destructions on this card in these older ones, if I remember right. Yeah. Look at that. Installation instructions. Rotate choke shaft clockwise to close position. Uh-oh, I'm dropping stuff everywhere. All right. Choke shaft. Oh, I gotta take this off the side. I haven't done one of these in a long time. Forgot about that. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing here. The little cover that comes off the side here. There we go. Then you got a little rod there. Make sure you guys are seeing this. Yeah, you can kind of see it. All right. So there's a little rod there that pulls out. Diaphragm comes out the bottom. Here's your new diaphragm. Well, before we do that, I want to clean this. I want to go ahead and start. I need to go get my little rods, go through passages, pull them out, clean it up. Don't want to start hitting that new diaphragm with carb cleaner and brake cleaner. It will dramatically shorten the life of it, I promise you that. Alright, so we got our, I don't know what that just was. Something just fell. Got our little rods here. Just want to go through our passages. And we need to take this guy out too. I forgot about him. See if I got a socket out here. Whoa, we're gonna lose the mower. I don't need you anymore up here. You can move. Oh, constant circus. There's a constant circus here. See if we can get that out. Oh, all right. Uh-oh, don't lose stuff. All right, that way I pull it out without changing the setting on that. And then in there, your main jet. So where's our screwdriver at? Here it is. See if we can't get that to come out. Sometimes they're in there. And actually, somebody's been in this carburetor before, I can guarantee you that. Everything's coming apart pretty easy. All right, and then there's your main jet. So we can go ahead and run a wire through that. I like to always run the biggest one I can through it, just to make sure we get out as much crap as possible. Grab our carb cleaner there, spray through it. Oh yeah, she's good. Let's try and get all this crap off the bottom here. I'm going to use this wire bristle brush. Try and knock off that stuff. Be careful with these because you can break them. They are just old nasty plastic. They're not very forgiving. You can replace them, but it's not fun. You don't have to do it. I don't recommend it. All right. And that one's open. That one's open. 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 Let me get as much of this crap off of this thing as I can while I'm here. I'm going to take this over there and blow it off with compressed air. And then we'll start putting her back together. Alright, there's the carb. We need to try to get all this crap out of this tank though. And then we got a passage here too. A couple of them in the tank. Make sure they're all open. Alright. Some of this carb cleaner down the bottom of this tank. Try to break up some of that varnish. We'll just spray her off real good. Try and get as much of that crap off of there as I can. Running out of carb cleaner. Alright. Alrighty. Okay. Should be ready for reassembly now. Want to take your rod up, hook it in the side of your choke shaft. There we go. Diaphragm's in there. Where's our new spring at? We got so much stuff sitting everywhere here. Here, wait a minute. Alright. You're gonna go on there like that. Uh-oh. Where'd that just go? Oh boy. That wasn't good. Shouldn't have done that. Probably right here somewhere looking me in the face. Let me get my light out. Alright, let me go digging. Alright, we're back. I got thinking about it and realized I was doing it wrong. So, this little instruction card here tells you to put the diaphragm on the tank first, which I've done. On models with a pulse jet, when you have the spring and the washer, they're going to go up in the carburetor here. So, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to place these here. Washer goes down so your spring doesn't tear your diaphragm up. Flip that over. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my screws back down through this carburetor assembly. So that way I can line them up with my diaphragm. So that way my diaphragm doesn't keep slipping and sliding all over the place. and wind up bound up under there in a way we don't want. So you can see I'm holding that cup and that spring with my finger, and I'm going to get down here with this. This is going to be, actually I guess I can just set that cup and that spring probably on top of the diaphragm right there, and it'll go in. All right. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna go right over here somewhere. Sit there, little boogers. Don't go anywhere. And then I'm gonna go like this. Get my, there we go. Get my pickup tube down in there. And I am gonna go ahead and put this up in that recess and hold it there with that finger. Now, you gotta be careful on this diaphragm not to distort the rod in any way. And I'm not gonna be able to show you this, but you guys already saw me lock that rod in there before. Go ahead and bring that rod up, and then it tells you push your choke closed, which it is. Drag that up. Come here. Drag it up. Click it in the choke rod. All right, now let's start to get our diaphragm moved around here. I already messed up. All right, come here, booger butt. I'm gonna start lining my screw holes up. Got to get over here. This has got to come around this, like that. Okay. Lining up my screws. Okay. Hold your tongue just right. Get that down in there. Line your spring up. Alright, now this part here is going to be kind of the fun part. I'm going to take my little flat blade and use it to hold that spring. Like that. So that way I can get my... Uh-oh, I already messed it up. Get in there. Hold that. That way you can kind of line up your stuff here. And you should just be able to kind of manipulate it all down on there. Okay. And then we're going to start our screws. And I don't tighten them at this point yet. I just want to get them all started and down. You want to pull this thing down as evenly as you can. Okay, because if not, you can get an air leak. All right, now that I got all those down, we're going to go a crossways pattern here, tighten them down. Just want to make sure we got them all nice and uniformly tight. Don't leave one loose where it can suck air. Go around them again a second time. Just make sure you got everything tight. Double check your own work. That way somebody else won't have to later and you won't spend time chasing your tail like I do. All right, now, that little cover that we took off inside here to get access to our little diaphragm rod, there's a gasket for that. Right here. So, it's got little tabs in the cover here. So you want to line the tabs up with the gasket. Okay. Alright, then we're just gonna. Uh-oh, don't need to lose that. There. Line up, boogers. My hands are not. Whoop, then that rod came out. You gotta be careful of that rod. Gotta be careful of that. There we go. Okay, get that tight. Main jet. Spray that off again for good measure. Did I blow through those holes? I think I did. Let's put the main jet back in. Main jet bottomed out. Alright. Put our adjustment screw back in. Oh, losing sockets. Get that socket back before it gets whipped around by the blade when we fire this thing up here in a minute. As long as it fires up. I don't even know if it has compression. I'm doing all this work on it. Some people would probably say I'm a little touched. But I love old equipment. Alright. Now, we're ready to install our carbon tank assembly. I'm going to take a little bit of this Flywheel here. Get some on the cleanest finger I can find. Put it around right in here. Because this is going to seal on the engine. And I need to adjust you guys back out so you can see what we're doing next. Alright, so I went in and threw it back together because I'm just being honest, this video is running a little long. A lot longer than I thought it would. Didn't think it was going to take that much work to get this thing going, but looks like it set a lot longer than I thought too. So I got the carburetor back together, I got our throttle on, recoil's back on, tank's cleaned out. We got some 89 octane non-ethanol fuel here that we're going to throw in. And we're going to try to fire this thing up for the first time in God knows how many years. And see how this thing's going to run. Give her a healthy dose here. Make sure she's got plenty to pick up. Alright. Nice full tank. Should be in the start run position, so I'm just going to go ahead and give her a few cranks, see what she'll do. Here goes nothing. Actually, you know what? I think on these pulse jets, it might have to have an air filter on it. So I'm going to stick my hand over the carb and try to get her to pull a little fuel. Almost acts like we're not getting any fire again. Throw some carb cleaner in it and check that out, I guess. It should have fired up. Actually, it almost acts like it ain't got no compression. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I guess I'm pulling the plug back out and checking that next. Should have checked that first. Yeah. She's wheeling over just a little bit too free. So I don't have to yank the head on it. First things first, let's make sure we still got spark. And we do, all kinds of it. Ouch, got me a little bit. All right. No compression, none whatsoever. I really hope the rod's not out of this. I should have checked all this beforehand. Now I really feel like an idiot. Yep, rod's slung out of it. That's why I didn't have any oil in it. All that work for nothing. All right. Well, you win some, you lose some. We just lost one. I mean, the deck's worth keeping. The engine's pretty well shot. I'm sure I got another engine I could put on here, and I probably will at some point, but for today, I gotta move on to something else. That just bums me out. I really wanted to hear this thing run. I'm sure you guys did too. But I got a bit ahead of myself. So, I can honestly say that is the first time I've made that mistake of putting all that time into something that had a slung rod in it. So, that's my bad on that, guys. Anyway, I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. Have a great day and God bless you. Well, guys, you know me, and I just couldn't leave well enough alone. I just wanted to know what was going on inside this engine on this Jacobsen. So I went in and tore her apart, and I figured her out. The rod busted about halfway up the rod. And it hit the side of the case right over in here. Cylinder still looks pretty darn good, actually, all things considered. I mean, it's worn, it's got a ring rage in it, but still not too bad. And surprisingly enough, there was no metal transfer on the crankshaft at all. So the crank's reusable, the piston's reusable, all we really need is a rod. So I was originally going to tear this engine apart on this whole thing here, and that's what I started to do. But I got into it and realized that I would be losing a lot of the aesthetics of that engine that I like, and also the governor's foobar inside of this one. So I'm kind of wondering if I tear this one apart, if the rod out of this one won't work in that one. They should be. They're the same engine. They're about the same vintage. So I'm going to keep fiddling around here off camera and see what I can't come up with. All right, well, this has gone from a revival to an experiment here. I went ahead and pillaged that rod out of that block there, a little bit newer block, and took it off that piston there and got it put on our new piston. Well, it's not new, but you can see it's got scratches on the skirt and everything else. I'm not putting any money into this thing. I'm just swapping parts. I'm going to see if I can't make her run. If it runs, great. If it don't run, well, then we're back where we started, and all we did was waste a lot of time. But, yeah, we're going to see what happens here. I'm going to start slapping this thing back together. I went ahead and rinsed out the bottom of the block with some carb cleaner and cleaned the cylinder up and So I'm getting ready to clean up my tappets and put them in, and we'll slide the crank back in here, put the rod on it, and keep going. You guys remember what I said about poor people got poor ways? Well, I don't have a piston ring compressor. Just using an old zip tie that I found. Going one ring at a time. Going nice and slow with it. I got 2 rings in. I'm on the last one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here and pinch this around until I can get this to come up over the ring. Then I'll take the soft end of my hammer, tap this thing down in here. So just remember, just because you don't have a piston ring compressor or anything like that doesn't mean you can't install pistons. You just got to find a different way to do it. Find something around that works. Okay? Where there's a will, there's always a way. Well, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to complete this. I got right down to the top piston ring, got in a little bit of a rush with it, wound up breaking the top piston ring. So I do not have another set of rings to put in this. And I'm really not even sure this little engine's worth it. I can probably find a whole nother junk mower with a good engine on it for $20. So, like I said, nothing wasted but my time, nothing hurt but my pride. You don't know until you try. So, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. God bless you.